Zion is making his first media day appearance. He's one of the smart ones, and he has some opening remarks for us, so we'll turn it over to you.
I want to first thank God for everything. I want to thank Coach Drink and my university for giving me a chance to represent them in the correct way. Playing football, the game I love, and yeah.
That's good.
Yes,
hey, you
sir.
know, a lot of schools in this conference get a lot of attention, but look at what you guys have accomplished the last 2 or 3 years. Do you feel very proud about that?
I feel great about what we've accomplished. I feel like it's more to come. I feel like another double-digit season is on the way. Feel good, man.
We'll go on the left side here in the back row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. You're an Atlanta guy. Like, what is it? Is it extra special to be back in back home to represent Missouri?
I mean, yeah, man, it feel good, man. Atlanta native. I'm no more than 17, 20 minutes away from here. I'm right out of Westlake, big man. Feels amazing. You know what I mean? That's why I'm keeping this smile on my face. You know, I can't believe I'm here right now. You know what I mean? I just got the question from Mr. Kelly, like, how does it feel being here? I told him, it feels unreal because I didn't know I was going to be here. You know what I mean? I didn't. Yeah, I never thought of them picking me for this. So when I got it, it was more so of, woo. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's good. We'll stay back on the left side.
We just had Daylan in here, and he singled you out as one of the leaders, one of the more vocal leaders on the defense. Is that just your natural way?
That's me, man. That's me 1,000%. You know, I come from a big family. I got 10 other siblings. Me being at the youngest, I seen it before, man. You know what I mean? I come from a very vocal family. My dad's ex-military. My mom's more laid back, you know what I mean? But that's my mama. I'm mama's boy. But yeah, I come from a very structured family, and I've always been the youngest. I'm loud, you know. I want to be heard. So, and over time, it just became me, you know. That's me, just that.
What is it about your coach that players respond to?
You said what? I'm sorry.
What is it about your coach that players respond to?
What is it about my coach that players respond to?
Mm-hmm.
So I got a good impression of Coach Drink. Well, it was one time in practice. It was a long day. It's about 90 degrees outside. Coach Drink, I don't think he was liking the way we worked out. And he said something. Well, he never said nothing the whole workout. He waited till we was done, and he got up. And this my boy, like, I don't want to say his name, but he was like, Elias, you're 250. He was just going crazy. It was man, Coach Drink. Everybody was but I was more so fatigued. I was feeling sick, like him yelling. It was crazy. And then he got back on my boy, Marvin, you're last at everything. He was going crazy, and it just that's the memory I won't ever forget. You know, you only get memories nothing but once, and I'm gonna forever remember that.
Where are we going with questions? Over here on the left side again?
You guys kept throwing around the term like alpha males in your locker room and within your team. Is that a thing, or can you elaborate a little bit more on that and what that means?
This is a quick. Would you rather date if you were in let's see, I'm gonna do an animal example. If you were in a tiger, would you want to date a cat? No. You don't want to date a cat. You wouldn't want to. Well, of course, it's tiger's a cat. It's a bigger version of it's the cat. You know, it's all around the stuff. But you wouldn't want to date a cat, though. Not something we bring. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Like, it's more so of like, not in day. I mean, alpha male. Like, who? That's what we're recruiting. That's what we're standing on. Guys is alpha males. Guys is where their feet at. And guys is very vocal and want to compete, you know, and have an edge on them. You know what I mean? So that's more so of being specific. You know what I mean? You wouldn't want to date a cat. You would rather date another tiger, right? Or a lion, something more manly. Yeah, so.
We'll go on the right side, third row, then go on the fifth row.
Okay.
Zion, you talked about bringing death row defense back and that, that motto, how much it means to that unit. Can you just kind of tell me what is that unit all about and, what can fans expect to see from you guys?
A gritty unit. I'm just the depth is unreal. Like you said, we're reestablishing the death row defense. I know y'all seen a lot of that last year and the year before that, but the best is yet to come, and it's on the way. Yes, sir.
In the back, on the right.
Carson Field, Sooners on SI. Zion, obviously you had that fumble recovery for a touchdown against Oklahoma last year. Where does that moment rank in your football career as just highlights, and what do you expect from this year's matchup being in Norman?
Yeah, that's the number one football memory I'll ever have. You know what I mean? Scoring in front of that. I never scored football. I was a running back back when I was 12 years old. You know how you course rec ball. Coaches want to put the biggest guy at running back. Run the ball, get us through there. But being in college and being able to say I scooped and scored a football to win the game. That's once you don't hear that a lot. You get what I'm saying? You don't hear that a lot. And for that, I don't know. I don't know when the last time Oklahoma and Missouri played before that, because Oklahoma re-entered into the SEC or entered the SEC. But I mean I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. That's a moment that I'll never forget. I thank God for that. I thank God, because we'll never stop talking about it. You feel me? Every interview I went to, that's all we talked about, that scoop and score. So, of course, that's number one memory.
On the left side, then pass it to your left.
Daylan shared some memories of the come-from-behind win against Auburn last year. You guys were on the ropes. Brady Cook comes back from the hospital, leads the fourth quarter comeback. Your memories of that game?
That was a dog fight too. That was a dog fight, bit man. I feel as we left it all on the field. From the first to the end of the. What, we went overtime in that game? What is it? We won the game, right? We just won the game. Yeah, so I feel like, it was a dog fight. I played my ex-quarterback, Payne Thorne, you feel me? That's my boy. And I had to, we had to work, man, and we won the game. We came out on top. But, that was a dog fight, man. And it wasn't easy winning the game, man. Shout out to our quarterbacks, Brady and Drew. Drew did his thing as well.
Keeby Huggins, WAFB. I love the energy you have today. Is this the same level of energy you bring on the field and in the locker room?
Every day. It's me every day. I can't act this. I can't rehearse this. None of that. It's me every day. It's me every day.
We'll go here on the aisle, in the middle.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Going to Kyle Field last year, what do you remember about that game? And then how much are you looking forward for kind of maybe some redemption this year in Columbia?
What do I not remember from that game? You feel me? They beat us bad. But like you say, we'll see them later on this year. And they got the best of us last year, but good luck to those guys this year.
What do you remember about going up against kind of their offense and how they were?
Everything, big man. In specific, they established their run game on us. So with them doing that, that kind of opened up our offense. You know what I mean? That it makes them more than one-dimensional. You know what I mean? And once a team is not one-dimensional anymore, the game could go either way. So, and they kind of made us more. So we couldn't stop what was going on death row defense, but it's understood. Ain't got to be explained.
Right side, third row.
Coach Drinkwitz talked about how there's 20 different guys on this team who have experience starting in a college football game. Just how important is that experience, to be able to, lead to success and wins this season?
Right. So with playing football, you kind of don't know what to expect if you haven't got your feet wet. Well, if you got a guy that haven't had his feet wet, you know what I mean? Isn't really when you have a guy that's played in the game, started the game off, and solidify himself more so in this league we're in, or not so much of this league, but in college football period, it kind of make you feel better about what's about to happen, because I don't want to. I mean, it's just like a fight. I want to put you against Floyd Mayweather. You feel me? So it's just, well, I ain't seen my bad, man. Yeah, I want to do that.
Final question here on the left side.
So what can you tell us about the rest of the defensive end group and the defensive line this year for Missouri?
We got a tremendous D-line, big man. We got a tremendous D-line. Chris McCullen, Darius Smith, Dame Wilson, Javion Hilson. We got Daylan Hopkins, Dede. We got a lot of guys, man. And this, what, like the lady said at the beginning, there's a lot of alpha males in that room, and the competition and everything is just high right now. Everything is at stake. Everybody understanding. I don't want to share time. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't mind sharing time, but hey, I don't. You feel me? I'm where I want to stay out there. But hey, with those guys coming in, I'm looking at, you know what I mean? Modify a couple things. Yes,
Zion, thank you very much. Good job.
appreciate you. God bless y'all.
Okay, Connor has a big act to follow here. We're winding up with our Missouri Tiger players, and we will go straight to questions. Who would like to lead us off? Dan, how about you on the left side?
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. What can you say about what it means to be representing Missouri and representing the offense there at SEC Media Days?
It's exciting, you know. When I first got to Mizzou, you know, you get to see your teammates go every year. So now to be in that position, it's nice. You know, it feels good to know that, you know, your teammates look up to you and see you as somebody they want to lead them or represent them. It's a good feeling, and ultimately, you know, it's who I do it for. You know, I want to do it for them and represent Mizzou to a high standard.
In the front row here.
Hey, Connor, you know, we just heard from Zion. Obviously, I know you play on the opposite side of him, but what kind of energy does he bring to this team just day in and day out that we are able to see?
Yeah, no, Zion brings the juice for everybody. You know, when we're at workouts, it ain't just offense, defense. You know, it's everybody, and he's that guy. He brings it, you know, and that's one thing you know with Zion is you're going to get it every day. He's consistent.
We'll stay on the right side.
You know, Connor, going up against, you know, that defense, you know, all the time at practice, you know, just what are some words to describe, you know, what that defense is about and, you know, what they're going to bring to the field every day?
Fast and physical. Every day, you know, they bring it. They ain't got no off days. I wasn't there in the spring recovering from injury, but I know when I get there in fall camp that it's going to be there and it's going to be fast.
A lot of schools in this conference get a ton of attention. You guys get your share of it too. Are you proud of the number of wins you've chalked up the last couple of years?
Is that your question?
The number of wins you've accomplished, that's a pretty good feat.
Yeah, you know, I think it speaks to the culture that we've, you know, built at Mizzou, and it all starts with our strength coach, Ryan Russell, and what he does in the weight room. You know, he preaches an elite edge, and I think that's just what everybody's bought into over the years. And, you know, it's contributed into wins on the field, too. So
We'll go on the back row. You started pretty early in your career. What's gotten easier or more manageable as you gain more playing time over the course of your career at that position?
You know, they say the game slows down, and I think there's some truth to that. So, you know, as I've been playing more, I feel like the game slowly came to a speed that I can see things, you know, make the right calls. You know, when you get in those pressure situation, you kind of felt like you've been there before, so it was not necessarily anything new to me. So I'd say that's what you gain the most from experience.
Go on the front row again.
Connor, when you have kind of a change in leadership at the quarterback position when Brady goes, and obviously you're in a quarterback competition now, what's kind of the challenge of that change in leadership, change of voice, you know, on the side of the ball?
I think, you know, it's just time for other guys to step up their leadership, and, you know, I think I'm in that position to do so. You know, I'm just lead the guys and whatever they need on or off the field, you know, if they're struggling on the field with scheme or off the field in the classroom or, you know, in life, like they can come talk to me like I'm a guy, you know, I'm just another dude on the team. Like I'm not going to judge you or look at you any way, shape or form just because you're having a tough time. Like I want to be there for you and help you get through that. So.
Left side, third row.
Good morning, Connor. AP Stidham of AP as we see it. Connor, what can you tell the folks about the Kansas-Missouri rivalry?
It's a big one. Been getting a lot of questions today about it, and I think it stems a long time ago. They haven't played in it's got to be 10, 13 years now. So I think the fans are excited, but I would say these players, us, and I bet they are too, are excited to kind of renew that border war, as you could say.
On the left side again.
Both of your teammates we got to speak to shared memories of the come-from-behind win against Auburn last year. Brady leaving the game early, Drew stepping in, Brady coming back from the hospital.
Yeah.
Your memories of that, what you experienced, your experience of that, and then what you're going to remember about that game.
It's kind of crazy, you're out there playing and he gets hurt, obviously, so a little you get fled with these emotions like, man, this is my friend, this is the starting quarterback, he goes down, like, is he going to come back? There's some uncertainty. So, we're all trying to rally behind Drew, hey, Drew, you're our guy. You're going to lead us in this thing. Like, let's just keep pushing forward. And then out of nowhere, they're like, yeah, Brady's going to be back. He's in the locker room, like he's going to be out here next drive. So, I think it just showed the toughness he had and, what it meant for him to play for Mizzou. I think, we're all, nowadays at the school and, we play for the name on the front. But I think, sometimes that meant more to him than the name on the back. So.
You have a great heritage at your school. Are there former Tigers you've gotten to know that you've been friendly with or had an impact on your career?
I'd say right now, Evan Bain, former Mizzou center, played in the league. He's come back to help us and be around the offensive line as a coach and assistant. So I think as a former player, he's helped us out a lot.
Okay. Right side.
What are some personal goals that you have set for yourself this season and that you hope to accomplish that can help bring success to your team?
As a center, you want to win the Remington. I haven't accomplished that in the 3 years I've been playing center for Mizzou. So I would say that that's my biggest personal goal. But ultimately, team success to me is more important.
You've heard it said the offensive linemen on a team are sometimes the most interesting and insightful guys to talk to. Why is that the case?
Oh, man, I think, offensive linemen will always keep it honest with you, keep it real. We're going to tell you how it is, not going to sugarcoat nothing. And I think, we're guys that love football, but, we love things outside of football. So, we have a lot of passion for other things. And, I think offensive linemen are just the best guys in general.
Left side.
Is it more meaningful, this career that you're having in your home state, playing as a Missouri guy, playing for Mizzou?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, a guy tells you I've transferred, some might ask how many times, like there's guys transferring 2 or 3 times throughout their college career. So to be in one place and to know I earned my spot and, made it on the field for Mizzou, as a kid from Missouri, like it does mean a lot. It really does.
One of the key things for linemen is versatility. How important do you think it is to be able to start at more than one position?
It's huge. Versatility is availability. I mean, if you can play left, and then you can play right, they feel comfortable putting you on both sides. Like that's only going to increase your chance to play. If you can play guard and tackle, I mean, your value just went up immensely, because those are 2 positions that aren't easy. So, yeah.
We have a good talker. Any final questions? One here on the aisle, AP.
What's the difference when you're blocking for the couple of quarterbacks, their style of how they fit in the pocket? And
nothing, I mean, half the time, I wouldn't know who's back there. You kind of always trying to block the same. The interior is more for firming up the pocket, and the tackles are more for the width and depth. So, it don't really matter who's back there. I'm just trying to give whoever the best pocket possible.
Final question on the left.
Have you talked much with Sam? Trying to be a dual sport athlete, and obviously he's got some. He was drafted earlier this week in the Major League Baseball draft by the Dodgers. You chatted with him much about his football career and his future with the team?
No, not a whole lot. we have talked before. I mean, he's going to play football for us in the fall, and then go on and choose what he wants to do with baseball after that. But yeah, he's committed to football. It probably caused him to get drafted a little lower than what he should. He's probably a top 100 prospect, and I think he probably fell because he is committed to football and he is committed to the Tigers, and he will be there this fall.
Connor, thank you very much. Good job. Stay healthy. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. This way your SID owes you favors. Okay, we're ready to start day 4 of SEC Media Days. We welcome you back. We are starting with the Missouri Tigers this morning, and we have Daylan here, and he has some opening remarks, and then we'll throw it open to questions, and hope you guys have some for us. Daylan.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm thankful and very blessed to be here. I'm really excited for the 2025 season upcoming. You can expect some big things out of the Missouri Tigers.
Daylan, a lot of teams in this conference get a ton of attention. Do you think your school might be overlooked a little bit for what the accomplishments have been?
Yeah, we might be a little bit under talked about, but we're not really too much worried about it. We'll let the past do the talking when the season comes.
Sometimes it's good to be that way. You can kind of make some sneak attacks on people.
Yeah, they sleep. We don't wake them up.
Okay. Got some questions over here on the left side of the room.
Dan Pack, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. It feels like being a fifth-year guy who started his career at the school you picked out of high school is kind of unusual in this day and age of college football. What does it mean to be representing Missouri in your 5th year at SEC Media Days?
Yeah, it means a lot. Coach Drink picks 3 guys every year, and for a few years I knew I wanted to come to this at some point. So I'm just very blessed to be here, and me being here all 5 years is like attached to like Coach Drink and what he's built at Mizzou, and I'm happy I'm here.
Question in the front row.
Hey, Daylan. We were just talking to you a minute ago, and obviously we saw Zion, and Zion, seemed very happy to be back here in his hometown. What has he told you that it means, to come to Media Days in his hometown? It seems to mean a lot to him.
Yeah, he's been telling us to cherish the moment ever since we got on the plane to come here. He's been wanting to take pictures every step of the way. He's taking videos. He's on his phone with his people, because he's from here. So yeah, he's definitely made me make sure I enjoy the moment, and I know he definitely is enjoying the moment. So yeah.
We'll go back on the left side.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Coach Drinkwitz? You mentioned him that he chooses the players and that he's a big reason why you were at Missouri these last 5 seasons. Just what's it like playing for him? What do you tell people about playing for Coach Drink?
Yeah, Coach Drink is a real players coach. He has very good connections with his players. He builds relationships, and it's very easy to talk to Coach Drink about anything, not just football. He makes sure you go off the field as well. So Coach Drink is a real good guy, and I'm very glad he's been my head coach the last 5 years.
We'll go on the 4th row, then come to the 2nd.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Daylan, what do you remember from last year's A&M game going to College Station and just kind of their offense?
Yeah, last year, I wish I didn't remember it. It was a real bad game for us, but I remember it was probably one of the loudest environments, if not the loudest, that I've played in. It was definitely rocking. We also gave them some pregame motivation that we probably didn't need to give them, but they had a very good run attack. That's what I remember about them. They had a very good run attack with their running backs, downhill run game. That's really what I remember. They had their run game going against us.
Go on the 2nd row here.
Daylan, 6 straight home games to open the season. What's it like just playing in front of that Mizzou crowd and the Tiger fans?
Yeah, I love playing at home. So the 6 straight home games, I feel like it'll give us confidence. We can build on each game. It's a little bit the downside to that. The first away game, not to the 7th game of the season. But I feel like if we take care of business at home, the first 6 games, I feel like we'll be confident going to our first away game, and we'll be all good.
Left side, second row.
Daylan, being at Mizzou for the last 5 years, the program has grown so much over that period of time. Just what do you want and what do you hope for this season for the team, but also just your personal goals as you close out your college career?
Yeah, as a team, we want to make the college football playoff. We want to make the SEC championship game. We want to compete for championships, as many as we can. And for myself, I just want to leave it all out on the field. I want to have my best year I've had. I want to lead the team, and just win games, and then everything else will follow when we win games. So yeah.
On the front row.
Daylan, we talk about 6 straight home games. What do you imagine it's going to be like to play with the shadow of the north end zone construction kind of in, and what do you like about obviously that project now?
Yeah, the north end zone project, it's coming along fast actually. They're moving pretty quick, but I don't really know what to expect with that. But I know the rest of the crowd will be sold out, so I feel like it'll still be a good environment, and the guys next year will be lucky because it'll be done. So yeah.
Left side, back row.
What have you seen out of the quarterbacks so far this offseason? And of course, Sam was drafted by the Dodgers earlier this week. Have you talked to Sam at all about the decision he's got to make?
Both quarterbacks are real hard working. They work with the receivers all the time. They're both always out there throwing with the receivers, getting timing and stuff down. And with Sam, we anticipate him being with us this year. We all know he's a phenomenal pitcher, but yeah, we anticipate Sam being with the team and competing for the starting spot.
Go to the fourth row.
Going back to you talked about the pregame motivation that maybe you shouldn't have given them. Where did that blanket come from?
I personally, I don't know for a fact where it came from, but yeah, I really don't know. But we got an opportunity to redeem ourselves this year. That's all I know.
As a safety, is that something you would ever or just thought was funny? I guess the whole blanket and everything.
Yeah, it was. We all thought it was funny pregame, but after you get your butt whooped, it's really not funny for us no more. It's like, and you could always look back and say like we shouldn't have did it because we lost, but if we would have won, it would have been different. So I mean, winning fixes everything. So we just got to win it.
Left side.
Daylan, 25 starts the last 2 years. You're obviously one of the leaders on that defense. Where else is the leadership coming from the Missouri defense in 2025?
Yeah, the other guy here with me on the defense, Zion Young, he's a real vocal leader. He's probably the most vocal leader on the whole entire team, not just the defense. You got Catalan, who's came in. He's an older guy. He's been there, done that. So he's a voice that people listen to. And then you got other guys like Chris McClellan, Trotter, Khalil Jacobs, Tristan Newsom. So it's a committee, but yeah, them probably some of the guys I'd say.
On the front row.
Daylan, what did you like about working with Corey Batoon last year, and what are you looking for in year 2 with him and kind of the continuity you guys are growing?
Yeah, Coach Batoon, that's my guy. I feel like he's made me better as a player. He's a real big technique guy, so like I feel like a lot of my techniques and my alignment and assignment, things like that, got better last year. And I just want to build on that this year, and me and him have talked about that, so I feel like it will improve this year, and I'll be better.
Okay, we'll finish up with 2 questions here on the left side.
Daylan, for as long as I can remember and going back, it's been a very long time, if it's ever happened, that Missouri has stacked 3 straight 10-win seasons. For you to be a part of that and be part of trying to pursue that this year, can you kind of speak about the sustained success of Missouri over the last few years?
Yeah, so I feel like it starts with the leadership. Coach Drink always tells us it's no bad team, it's only bad leaders. And I feel like that's very true, because since I've been here, the bad teams I've been on, we've had bad leadership. In the last 2 years, the leadership has been way better, and that has reflected with our record. And another thing about the 3 10-win seasons in a row, Coach Drinkin mentioned to me and Connor yesterday that me and him would be like the most winningest class ever when we have 10+ wins this season. So, yeah, that stuck out to me. So, yeah, it was really about the leadership. So, with me being the leader this year, I want to make sure that continues for sure.
We'll go here on the aisle, and then final question in the back.
A lot of new faces on your offense this year. Just what's it like going up against some of these new receivers, just kind of the overall look of your offense?
Yeah, so we got some we got some real good guys that came in. Kevin Coleman is probably the biggest one. You know, he'll have a real big role for us this year. He's a dude. You can expect him to have a real big year for us this year. Yeah, he's probably the big. I go against him the most in practice, so that's what I see the most, and he's a real tough cover. So, yeah.
Final question, Dan in the back.
A memorable win from last year for you guys was the Auburn game, the come from behind victory. Brady goes to the hospital, comes back to lead the comeback. Your memories of last year's Auburn game, of course, the rematch in Jordan-Hare Stadium this year.
Yeah, I remember. I just remember early on in the game, Brady looking hurt. I remember he was trying to roll out and he couldn't run. Then the next thing I know, I seen him coming off the field, and then like we all assumed he was done because when he left, we didn't see him in the locker room at halftime or anything. And then randomly he came back out to the game. We were just as shocked as the crowd and everybody watching on TV. So. Yeah, Brady Cook, he's a Mizzou legend. He's a warrior. Yeah, he's a real good guy. I love Brady Cook. That's my guy.
Hey, Daylan, thanks a bunch. Did a great job. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.